Hey there, Sojourners. It's been a really strange few months, and that's not just on the show. I suspect you know it's been that way out in the world. If not, well, I think maybe it might be not a bad idea to turn on the news. But we here at the Gothic Podcast just wanted to say, well, we stand with Black Lives Matter. We stand with the LGBTQ plus community. We stand with an effort for more diversity in creative works of all kinds, including our own podcasting, and for you, our listeners, to go out and engage with those creative works and engage however you feel best suited to do so. And that's pretty much the official stance of the Gothic Podcast. Gang?
I appreciated when you said, engage in whatever way you feel comfortable in doing so. It's, I think, becoming increasingly clear that one of the best ways to actually help is to donate money, which feels really lame, and it feels like you're not doing anything. But, it actually is, and I think it's a good way to kind of make yourself known without running into the trap of talking over the very minorities you're trying to help out, because obviously no one wants to do that either, ideally. But I think it's really important to recognize that, like, I think a lot of us are getting tired of things not being normal right now, but I think we need to realize that what we think of normal, where we don't have to think about race all the time, has been paid for by Black people being, and people of color being increasingly and incredibly uncomfortable, like, every moment of their lives, ever since a white person ever looked at a Black person and their pupils of their eyeballs turned into little dollar signs, and so that's something that's been going on for a super long time, and I don't think we can afford to return to that anymore, because that's unacceptable. So stay uncomfortable.
Yeah, stay uncomfortable. That's pretty good. And I think you're right with the whole the thinking of what's normal. It's amazing what people will pass on for what's normal, and I think it's good that we question that, or we keep questioning that. And through all of this, it looks pretty damn ugly, but just keep your head up, keep hoping, keep pushing. Keep speaking, that's whatever it is, whatever, where, no matter if it's, the world feels like it's against you, your voice matters. Every voice matters. So, keep up the good fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I stand with all, I have many family members that are of POC or mixed race, so please kneel, stand up, throw your fist in the air, because Black Lives Matter.
Thanks for being with us, Sojourners, and thank you for joining us in the dark. And now for this episode of the Gothic Podcast. Hello, Sojourners, and welcome back to Gothic. We just had a couple of episodes where Lori and Chauncey have their flashbacks, and that sets us up for tonight, where we return to Lori, Chauncey, and Grace, and a few werewolves, making an assault on Castle Caine, or the ruins thereof. But as Lori crosses the broken bridge of the moat, something dark and fanged has risen out of the waters and is about to attack. Hey, everybody. How are you?
Well, not great, because we're about to be pounced on by a freaking giant crocodile or something.
And this is what happens when you jump Dark, scary water in a creepy castle on the moors. You look in the water.
Says the guy who made a deal with a demon or something.
Yeah, it's,
too spooky.
It's a professional hazard. You know these things. It's like, you put your PPE
the water's fine.
I'm gonna put my hard hat on before I go into a factory. God damn it!
All right, so are you ready?
Yes,
as much as we'll ever be.
Let's go. As Laurie crosses the broken moat bridge, trying to get to the front doors of Castle Caine, a terrible creature rises up from the murk, draped in mosses and scum. It has the head that is somewhat like an alligator, but its body is bipedal as that of a man. Yet it is massive and muscled and scaled, and this thing does not look anything at all except hungry as it snaps and leaps for Laurie. What do you do, Chauncey? Because you're the only one that has seen this coming.
Okay. All right. I had some time to think about this. And you know what? I'm gonna try to turn that leaf over. I'm gonna try to protect him.
Wow. Amazing.
Don't think it's some altruistic motive, whatever. No. I need him for the werewolves. Completely.
It's not like I'm trying to be a good person or anything.
I need him for the werewolves.
Yeah, that's right.
No, okay. All right, so big man crocodiles coming up out of the water, gonna eat my little angel buddy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to. I got a good vantage point of where this thing is coming out. I want to try to protect him. I'm gonna try to jump in the way in front of this thing or on this thing or something like that.
Roll protect someone.
Okay. All right, so I have a question because this has been on my mind. Does my unholy strength or whatever apply to this? Because I reread it and I'm going to be fair about this because it says on my unholy strength I use my weird instead of tough when I kick some ass. This isn't kicking some ass. So would I use?
It's not, but you are. Uses tough. It seems reasonable to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it sounds like you're maybe intending to physically put yourself between Laurie and this creature, so that's reasonable. Yeah.
But okay,
yeah.
I'm going to try to protect him. Here I come.
Snake eyes.
Don't jinx him.
It is a 9.
Do I take the opportunity to notice the move and help out?
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could help out.
How do you see this happening, Laurie?
I sense and or hear them moving and decide to turn and confront it as well.
Okay, roll help out.
Oh, cool. That's an 8.
How cool are you? You're an 8 cool.
The new elementary school diss.
Your help grants a +1, but it also exposes you to some harm.
Oh, so it does the opposite of what Chauncey wanted.
This is great. Okay.
But it also gives you a +10. It gives you 10 instead of your 9.
Okay. In that case, you want to get in on it. We're gonna have some fun with it then. We're gonna go all in on this. He's coming. You're coming. Poor Grace has no idea that Crocodile Man is going to start eating her friends.
Oh, look, a daisy.
I'm going to hold the enemy back.
Oh, dope.
I'm going to leap on the back of Man Croc and just hold him back.
That's so cool. Hold his jaws open like Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Here's what happens. Chauncey, unwilling to dive directly into danger as the werewolves and Laurie did, scans the area. He sees this terrible humanoid man croc, this crocodile-headed, many-toothed thing rise up from the murk and start to move toward Laurie to bring those terrible jaws down upon Laurie's tender flesh. And astonishingly, perhaps even to himself, Chauncey leaps into action. For once, not hesitating, he throws himself forward and slams into the crocodile creature, even as Lori turns, dodging and thus distracting to a certain extent the crocodile creature itself. And yes, this great struggle now commences as Chauncey grabs a hold of the maw of this thing and pries the upper jaw up and the lower jaw down, holding those terrible teeth apart as Lori steps in to aid. How do you see this happening, Lori?
And as I'm turning around, I'm seeing him do this.
Yes. You heard a splash, and then you hear Chauncey running, and then a couple of boot falls against the wood of the fallen bridge, and then you see him out of the corner of your eye leaping through the air, more active than I think anyone has ever seen Chauncey be, since we never...
I'm a man of action.
None of the rest of you actually were there when he was fighting the ghouls, I don't think. Only Only Isabella.
None of us witnessed
who
that.
I still don't trust.
Okay. I will take that opportunity as he's wrenching open the jaws of the man croc to lay on hands. Or not lay on, cast out evil.
Wait, I'm here.
And attempt to banish the croc from us.
Wait, I'm here. Wait! No!
Don't cast me out!
Not you. It's focused on the man croc.
As you
like
banish
this.
Chauncey from this plane of existence.
But yeah.
Okay.
So focused on the man croc, I'm going to attempt to cast out evil. Tough. Which is great. That's a 12.
Oh my.
Nice.
Goodness.
That's a lot better than snake
So
eyes.
it's vanished.
Be gone!
As Chauncey leaps in front of you and he pulls the maw of the thing apart and starts pushing it backwards, you stride forward. And what does this particular banishment look like?
It's similar to the other ones where basically I focus my energy on that specific creature, wave of the hands to just basically kind of shoo them away.
Back, boy, back.
just like a backhanded and they're gone.
Do you say anything to accompany this?
Be gone, foul creature.
The creature is flung up and away. It is tossed as if by some giant divine hand. It is thrown up away from the moat and all of you there who are arrayed around it, and disappears out into the night.
Dang.
Chauncey is thrown actually backwards from this impact in some way and smashes into Lori, and both of you go down in a heap in the murky water and the roots and tangles of old down trees and such that are in the moat, along with broken pieces of the castle itself. And that, I fear, does 1 point of harm to Lori, but I believe you are able to shake that off. Is that correct?
I don't know. That's other than a bonus from my armor.
So this is not armor defeating.
Then that bounces that back.
You do take 0 harm, which in Monster of the Week still has some effects. You are underwater and inhaling murky slime for a few moments, which does distract you for a little while as you try to disentangle yourself from Chauncey and vice versa. And finally, though, you both get to your feet. And Grace?
I guess I've been just standing there with my mouth with my jaw on the floor.
Yeah, it happened very quickly. You didn't even see the thing as it started to rise. You registered it there as Chauncey flung himself forward, but you didn't see it until it was almost all over, and then...
Can I, help him get up out of the mud and just be like, wow, you two sure know how to make a girl feel completely useless?
So you scramble down your side of the moat bridge, and you help them up.
Smooked the slime off of my coat, and I was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if there's another one in here?
Don't say that, Chauncey.
Well, you guys wouldn't know. If y'all had looked, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Well, now I will. And I look around in the water.
You actually don't see another one of the creatures, but you do see Chauncey's hat.
I need that.
Oh, I pick it up and offer it back to him. I wipe it off with my hanky first.
So you pick up Chauncey's hat. It's covered in some water, but as you're kind of sliding down the moat bridge to give it to him, I need you to read a bad situation.
I'm so sorry, Grace.
Oh no, is this bad? Did I pick up the Frosty the Snowman hat? Am I about to have something happen right now? Read a bad situation? It's a +1, so that's a 12.
10 plus on a read a bad situation is hold 3.
You should be anywhere near that hat.
Wait, what? Are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
A voice whispers in your head, Grace.
Oh no! I knew it! I knew it was the hat all along!
Oh my god, this is great.
Grace Moreau.
How do you know my name?
Wouldn't you like all the evil in the world to be defeated?
I will promptly, without saying anything, stick my arm straight back out with the hat as far as I can get away from me towards Chauncey, with just like a very serious look on my face.
I'm gonna snatch that back. I'm gonna snatch that back real quick.
Grace, there was a moment there, and you can't swear to it, but you think that for a moment the hat might have had a mouth.
Yeah, I don't want to be touching it anymore.
I'm going to empty the rest of the water out of it and clean it all the way off and put it back on.
I'm going to ask what's the biggest threat, because I am all of a sudden really suspicious about this hat, strangely.
It's not actually the hat that is the biggest threat. It is a danger you hadn't noticed before. But as far as threats in the area go, you do see now, as you look around, churning in the moat. The water is churning, the muck is bubbling up. It's not close. It's still a few dozen yards away, but in either direction. And those bubbles and churnings are headed toward your current position.
Is this something that the rest of us are noticing, or just Grace?
Just Grace. Lori, you are still trying to get to your feet.
Wiping mud out of my eyes.
Yeah, spit out murky gunk and get the mud out of your eyes. Chauncey, you're just happy to have your hat back, or not happy to have your hat back, as the case might be.
I'm happy that Grace doesn't have my hat. That's what I'm happy.
So at the moment, Grace is the only one that sees these churnings and these bubblings approaching closer and closer.
Are we all still standing in the water, or did we kind of clamber up the bank on the other side? Or on the original side?
You are still down in the water.
All right, I would like to place my hands firmly on the backs of my companions and usher them out of the moat. All right, everyone, it's great. We're out of the water now, and now it's time to get even further out of the water. Let's get up into the castle and away from the bubbles that are heading towards us.
Bubbles?
Bubbles.
I'm going to point out, I was like, see, if you would look out, this wouldn't happen.
I am looking out, Chauncey, and now there are other things heading towards us in the moat, and I'm warning you about it. Now let's do something about it and get out of the water, please.
I'd like to get out of the water. I don't like water.
Go,
I don't like water, period.
run along.
It seems there are lots of... I don't know what I was saying. It seems there are lots of dangers about, so let's be wary as I uncoil my razor whip.
Yeah, I'll draw my fighting sticks.
The three of you scramble up the far side of the moat bridge, helping one another or doing it on your own, as the case might be, and you make it to the doorway through which the werewolves passed a few moments before, and a few moments before that, where, if you recall, you saw the servant, Graf. The servant you love so much, and who may still have Chauncey's coat, and who knows what secrets that Chauncey's coat might whisper to you.
It just became the lead singer of Nickelback. It's all I can see now.
Graf is canonically played by the lead singer of Nickelback.
Let's find this dude.
Oh my god!
Coat,
Can we invite him to guest star as Graf the Bat Butler?
Okay.
Okay. I want to turn and watch behind us and make sure nothing's gonna, like, climb up the bank after us or try and come out of the water. That last thing leapt very quickly, so I wouldn't like to be caught from behind by one of those things. So I'm gonna, move backwards as I go into the ruins of the castle.
As you scramble up the slope of the fallen bridge, you, Grace, are the last one in line, and you give one last look back at the moat behind you, and what you see is that churning, muddling of the water as it gets closer and closer to the bridge. But just before the disturbances get there, they vanish, as if whatever it was submerges deeper or turns away.
Okay. So they vanished like a large creature in the water would vanish, not like they disappeared into another plane of existence.
Right.
Gotcha. I'm going to ask my third read a bad situation if it still applies, which is... I'm going to ask what's my best way out, because I would like to know that for the future.
Under what context are you talking about?
So I'm thinking about when the time comes, presumably if we don't die in the ruins of this castle and we need to leave, what's the best way to circumvent...
Big assumption.
I know, exactly. But I'm hedging my bets and I'm saying, should we need to cross the moat again, what's the best way back over the moat?
If you don't want to have to be down at the water level, if you want to avoid that, and if you don't want to risk Lori trying to angel wing you out because of the possible issues with that, then from what you know from having already circled and looked over the castle and the ruins thereof once, is that really your best way out is also what your best way in was going to have been, which was that section by the conservatory where there were tumbled rocks and beams and such that would allow you to cross the moat in a slightly more expedient fashion and further away from the dangers that you just experienced.
Cool. All right, having noted that, I'll turn back around and follow my companions into the ruin.
As you enter the ruins of Castle Caine, it becomes apparent that though the castle exploded from within, or really, as you know, as you watched, was torn apart from within, it didn't lose the entirety of its composition. Hallways still exist. Sometimes the roof, the ceiling of that hallway is collapsed. Sometimes it has been blasted away. There's rubble everywhere. There's pieces and parts of armor here and there. There is what looks suspiciously like flesh draped over some of the pieces of armor or some of the stonework here. In some places, the collapse goes so far as to reveal glimpses of those 3 moons in the sky, one of which, you may recall, is a skull.
It's a skull.
But no passage here is easy, and some of the rooms off of the main corridor are completely destroyed. Some are just gulfs of emptiness.
Can I, pick out one of the pieces of armor and take the breastplate out and see if I can wear it, don this piece of armor?
Oh, I see. So you're wanting to add this to the armor dress that you're already wearing.
Yeah, because I have this kind of, subtle, hidden, strict, corsetry structure and stuff, but I want to see if I can get a piece of actual armor on my body, because that seems beneficial at this moment.
It would probably not add to, but rather be, whichever one was more would probably apply.
Oh, gotcha.
So what is your current armor?
My current armor is 1.
I'm willing to give this armor, because it's so old and thick and heavy, I'm willing to give it an armor of 2.
Okay.
But as far as anything requiring mobility from you, it might be a -1 going forward.
I mean, I'm not doing a lot of, parkour or anything, so...
Not yet.
Yeah, I think the most strenuous thing we did was speed walk back up to the castle with a bunch of werewolves circling us.
It'll help you drown faster if nothing else.
Fair. I think I'm going to keep it for now with the intent of possibly ditching it later. Because I'm not, like, strapping an entire suit of armor on.
Yeah, as you move to do that...
Oh, yeah, the flesh.
I'd like to pick a piece that doesn't have flesh draped over it.
So you move toward one of the suits of armor. The other two are ahead of you, and they move on, not vanishing, but becoming more indistinct in the darkness and the shadows ahead. And as you approach one of the suits of armor to find its breastplate, there's a strange sound. It's a rustling almost.
The fucking rats.
It's not rats this time, but it is something about rat's eyes moving. It's pieces of armor that pull themselves together and stand. And the armor lifts a sword, rusted and broken off at the tip, and it stalks toward you, Grace.
Okay. Have I successfully put the breastplate on at this point? Are my hands free?
No, this is the breastplate you were headed toward.
Oh,
has
okay.
Just reassembled itself
good.
into a full suit of armor.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
And is now advancing toward you. And in fact, because, audience listening at home, this is a hard move, it swings its sword at you and slashes across your dress, the same dress you've been wearing all night, the one that you wore to the dinner party to start with, which is one of your armored.
It's gone. I'm gonna have to toss this one out.
Burned by hellhounds, slashed by
burned.
suits
It's
of
walked
armor.
through the moat. It's got attacked by giant crocodile men.
It's good times. Memories in that dress.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep it for a souvenir.
These are the rags of adventure.
Yeah, at this point, the dress is more armor than it is dress.
How much of this would we hear, Chauncey and Lori?
Yeah, can I shout?
Help!
Something like, "Oh, we have company," or something.
The suit of animated armor slashes at you with its broken, rusted sword, and you take 2 harm from that, Grace. Not armor defeating.
Not armor defeating, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shout,
Hell, just anything. For that matter.
"Yeah, stay alert, we have company," and start backing up rapidly with... I think I had drawn one of my fighting sticks. I'm gonna take out the other one, because I don't think a dagger is gonna help me fight a suit of armor.
So backing up towards us, or backing up and putting the thing in between you and us?
No, towards you guys. I'm assuming the thing is not in the direction that you guys are.
Hey guys, hello.
Hey guys, there's a suit of armor.
The ceiling is broken in places, so yes, currently Grace is illuminated by one of those openings where the 3 moons, one of which is a skull, shine down upon her. But there's a lot of places that still are, because the castle is in multiple levels, and there are still portions of all of those levels remaining that are darkness, and those sections are what you, Lori, and you, Chauncey, are currently in.
Ultimately, my choice is to react immediately to the threat to Grace, Angel Wing over, and slash at everything with my Razor Whip.
I know that normally when it's just you doing an Angel Wing, that there isn't any... Yeah, it's instantly anywhere. You don't need to make any rolls. But I'm thinking that an act under pressure is not out of the question here.
I was afraid of that.
Because we're in an alternate reality. Oh, damn you, Patrick. And that's my cool.
Darn,
I know, right?
metagaming.
Okay,
No.
Here we go. What's my roll? That's 11.
Oh, good. Yay.
So you are able to Angel Wing over to Grace without any problems, but you feel it's harder than it should be.
Instead of just flitting through the air, it's more like swimming through a gelatinous cube.
It's like swimming through a gelatinous cube.
Excellent.
Without the poison damage.
totally with the poison
With the
damage,
poison
but you're
damage.
able to throw that
God
off.
damn
at
it, I
the
shouldn't have
moment.
mentioned the poison damage.
You're there, and so Lori, do you want to attack the armor, or do you want to protect someone?
Immediate reaction would probably be destroy the evil thing. So kick some ass.
Kick some ass, and you already have your razor whip out.
At hand.
It's curled around you, but not like against your skin, but it does that weird thing that it does, which is like loop around you like it's the frame of a hoop dress.
Excellent. All right. And kicking some ass gets me 8 plus with smite.
You guys need to move back to the bone dice because you guys are
That's
getting
my bone
far too
dice.
many successes here.
That's my bone dice. It's a 6 plus 2 is my tough.
The bone dice. Them bones.
Dice of bones.
Rolling the bones.
Yeah, you whip the razor whip at it, and it strikes back at you. Part of the sword catches on some of the razor whip, sparks fly. Grace, you just see Lori appear in front of you with the razor whip just circling and lashing around like a silvery whirlwind. Sparks fly everywhere as the metal on metal clashes together,
God,
and the end of the whip slips down and like flicks across Lori's face, but his razor whip also lashes around the suit of armor and just rips into it. How much harm does your razor whip do? I forget. I'm sorry.
3 harm, hand area, messy, and I also have smite, which my divine weapon always counts as a weakness against the monsters I fight.
Nice.
Dang.
Okay, so the armor's head just goes flying off the helmet of the suit of armor. However, it keeps on fighting, and when that sword just did lash across your face, you took 2 harm.
1 because of my armor?
1 because of your armor.
Okay.
Chauncey,
Yeah.
you turn to say something to Lori, and they just disappear.
The smell of cardamom and the flittering of wings you hear.
Yeah, with the smell of cardamom and lace. And the
What does lace smell like?
You know, you said cardamom, but it translated in my head as cardboard. So I've got a very
smell of
particular
cardboard.
angel in my mind now. Cardboard and lace. And so you can never tell, you know, you're walking down some back alley. Is it angels? Is it homeless people? You don't know.
What's the difference?
All right, so Chauncey, you look around and you're like, where the hell to go?
God damn it.
And you then glance back and you see the fight that's going on behind you some 30 or 40 feet. And you see sparks flashing in the grim moonlight. You see Grace staggered backwards from a blow that she has just taken. You see Lori there, razor whip lashing around like some strange whirlwind. And you see this suit of armor, helmetless and headless, that is swinging its broken sword at both of them.
Well, in that case, you said it's only like 30 feet away, right?
Yeah, read a bad situation.
Okay, read a bad situation? Sure. That's,
I like the rolls in this one, by the way.
Wow. That's plus sharp. So that is 12.
Nice.
Ooh. Wow, what did you guys do since the last
I don't
games
know.
that we played?
I let my bone dice sit out in the moonlight for the full moon.
We sold our souls to Chauncey's hat for good rolls.
All
All right, Chauncey, you have hold 3.
Is there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Behind you, now that you're staring back the way you came toward Grace and Lori and the suit of armor, but behind you, you hear in the darkness.
Oh, really? Interesting. So my next question is, what's the biggest threat?
To
Me. Oh, good. All right, and the last question, what's my best way out?
there are doors to either side of you, well, openings, I guess, that lead into other corridors or hallways or rooms of the destroyed Castle Caine. So the best way out really is not back toward your companions or forward toward the growling sound, which sounds an awful lot like, one of the hounds of hell, but rather to the left or right into one of the adjacent rooms.
Is either of them better lit than the area I'm at now?
One of them, the one to the right, does have apparently broken ceiling all the way up to the sky, and that reddish moonlight that's also somehow bone-colored comes shining through and down into that.
If I'm going to have to fight this thing, I'm going to take the fight to that room. Because it looks like that thing's focused on me, right? It's a threat to me. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the fight into that well-lit room and try to maneuver, get myself into a better position to handle whatever is coming at me from the darkness.
Although I am, of course, a fan of the hunters, I love it when the hunters split up.
Are you a fan? Are you really, Patrick? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan. I bought you guys bone dice.
I'm a fan.
So as Chauncey moves into a side room, back with Lori and Grace, the suit of armor lifts its sword above its head and strides forward, trying, in fact, to shove Lori aside so that it can attack the mortal.
It's not interested in Lori.
It needs some soul juice.
It seems to be focused on you, Grace.
Yeah.
Perhaps because you're the first being it imprinted on, or you don't know.
Mom.
I mean, you really don't have any idea, but it is indeed coming for you.
Are there other suits of armor in this general area? Not like living ones, but ones that have been that are like knocked over and lying around?
There were several, yes.
Do any of them have decorative weapons on them?
Sure. There are axes and halberds and a good old flail mace.
How about a big sword? Would you say there is a big sword?
No, the big sword is claimed by the current
dang.
suit of animated armor.
I will grab the mace, put my fighting sticks away. I'm going to grab the mace, and I would like to kick its ass with the mace. That's plus tough. Not terrible. That's a 7.
Wow, we just don't want to level up today.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, how much damage?
The mace does 2.
Does a mace do 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, you have that info.
And I have a mace now. I'm going to mark that on my sheet. Yeah, I was looking at weapons, old-fashioned weapons that can be used by my sect. I have a lot of these on here, so might do some collecting here. Yeah, the mace does 2. 2 harm hand messy is what it says.
This is a flail, so it's not a stick with a spike ball on the top. It's a stick with a chain and a spike ball at the end. That's you
fun.
Whip around with that and smash the suit of armor in its breastplate, and you do 2 points of harm. Nicely done. By the way, the suit of armor that belonged to the mace stands up, grabs the axe nearby, and swings it at you, and I'm using another one of my hard moves, which I probably shouldn't just announce, but I thought the audience at home might like to know when I'm using these things if they're keeping track.
Yeah, they would.
And,
we're going to get some stickler.
And it just slam you in the back, where your armor is still fairly more or less functional. Yeah. But do you have the notes for an axe there in the old-fashioned
I have
weapons?
a couple of different axes. This is a regular axe or a big axe?
Big axe.
God damn it, that does 3, but I have 1 armor, so it does 2 to me.
You do your thing to the armor in front of you, and then you just pressed forward, your whole body arced as the axe smashes into your armored dress from behind.
Glory, there's another one.
Okay. Sure.
You're the competent one. Help me out here.
Are both suits of armor at hand for me at the moment?
Yes, you're in the midst of everything.
Excellent. Because I have area effect with my whip. I will go ahead and lash out at both of them, just swinging my whip around. Hey, Grace, just stay low for a minute.
I go to one knee.
The thing about your whip, Lori,
Yes.
is that it is nearly sentient. And so you can just swing that sucker around like crazy. It doesn't matter if Grace is kneeling or not, although she probably would just out of instinct.
Yeah.
But your whip will not hit your friends.
Excellent.
It knows. It just makes these weird shapes
love my whip.
in the air. And
I love you, whip.
and snakes around and lashes into spaces that are open and free of armor and rips and tears at its own will as well as yours.
So cool. Do I get to kick some ass now?
You do.
Let's see. 9.
Can I help out?
Yeah, you could duck down, I suppose.
Help out as a plus. Cool. I rolled a 10.
So you help out. How do you imagine yourself doing this?
Well, the one with the big axe is right behind me. Can I, I don't know, maybe push backwards and kick one of its legs and destabilize it so it can't, get out of the way?
All right, so when Lori tells you to drop down, you drop down and then sweep your legs out.
Yeah.
And, it causes the armor to stumble and right into Lori's attack, which moves that up to a 10, Lori.
Excellent.
That's an extra effect.
It is.
Oh, you're welcome.
Inflict terrible harm. So 3 from the whip, extra for...
Being angry.
No, for smite. For always count as a weakness against the monsters. And an extra harm for... Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
4 harm, plus it is counting as its weakness. Yes. The original suit of armor, your razor whip just lashes through it. Just goes whip, 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 like in anime. It's just
awesome.
These 3 slashes of flame as the holy razor whip just tears the suit of armor apart. And then against the other one, the whip lashes around, snakes around Grace's body over her, just skimming like the top of her nose where she had gone down and lashed out with her legs. And it just rips into that second one as well. Not enough to destroy it, but it does mark up the armor quite a bit.
All right.
Chauncey.
Yes.
You are there in the moonlight, standing atop a pile of rubble that has fallen from the upper floors. Mm-hmm. And you hear that growl from the shadows ahead of you. No light source of your own, yet you only have the moonlight of those 3 strange moons above you to illuminate the scene. But you hear it first. And then it strides into view.
Ooh.
Not a hellhound after all.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Lockmar?
Oh, please.
Let's go for the big black one.
Oh, which one?
But the silver werewolf.
Oh, knew it. Oh, okay.
I can use this word accurately because she's dog-shaped. That bitch.
Excellent.
Her eyes are strange. I mean, you traveled with her and the other werewolves all the way from Bledson, and, I mean, you're not exactly the friendliest with them, obviously, but she and her name was...
I don't think you gave us her name.
You didn't?
Actually, her name was...
You did give us, I think.
Oh, really?
Silver.
Well, I know there was a silver one and a black one, but...
The black one was really big.
Yeah, he was big, and she was sneaky. She kept, vanishing into the fog and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I did give you their names. The big black one is actually named One Death.
Okay.
And the silver one is named Silence.
Oh, I like that. I was about to make a comment about him having a, YouTube comment section username, but that's actually...
Silence strides forward into the moonlight and her eyes are strange. They're not the yellow wolfen eyes that she bore on your way here. They are completely black. And Chauncey, I'm going to just go ahead and suppose that you've probably seen this effect before.
Okay.
This is a possessed creature.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Then I know what to do. Okay, so I look it up and down. I was worried it was something of the sort. Because it's not itself trying to harm me, I don't want to absolutely outright murder her, or try to murder her. Instead, I'm going to use some magic.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to pull some magic out of my hat. And I am going to...
How long have you been waiting on that?
That was good.
About 7 episodes,
right?
I think.
That's a lot of time in the real world, y'all.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to summon up some little incantations and some, maybe some hand movements or whatever. And with this power in my hat, I'm going to try to banish this thing that is possessing my... Well, it's not really my comrade.
God, I want to draw comics of Chauncey so bad.
Oh my God! Right?
I'm going to try to banish this. I'm going to try to banish this thing that's possessing. Weird. That is a total, say, 11.
Ooh, look at you.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
My weird's +3.
Describe this to me, Chauncey.
Okay, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to focus my intent on this creature. I'm going to put my hands up, maybe make a couple of...
obscene gestures.
Not too obscene, but just focus. I'm gonna reach back in that black, dark tongue that my hat speaks to me in, and I'm gonna utter out those vile curses, and I'm going to attack the thing that is possessing my... it's not a friend. My meat bag. Yeah.
Okay. Chauncey, you know spirits, you know possessions, you know the way these things work. You listen to the whisperings of your hat, and you utter words that are rarely heard in the mortal realm. They purr off of your tongue, but they leave oozes. And the thing, whatever it is that is in silence, struggles. The werewolf begins to twitch, and she begins to shudder, and she quakes and quivers, and she changes. She shifts from her werewolf form, the pelt ripping, just like Lockmars did when he showed you his human self. Silence, her fur self, collapses on the floor of the moonlit chamber and rips open as her human self, pulls herself out, naked and covered in the viscera of the innards of the wolf self, her own pale hair shining in the ruddy red bone moonlight above. And she staggers to one side and collapses, while out of the wolf pelt rises a black form, a terrible humanoid shape that has no features but is just a shadow.
Oh yeah.
That's spooky.
Meanwhile, back at Lori and Grace, one suit of remaining armor still wields its massive and archaic axe, swinging it now down at, again, Grace's back.
Protect someone.
Can I move out of the...
Go ahead and protect someone, Lori.
All right. Yay for tough. 7. Barely.
I was going to help out, but that wouldn't really change your result, so...
All right, so you push Grace out of the way, and the axe comes swinging down and catches you a glancing blow. Not the full amount that Grace would have taken, but it does do 2 harm.
Holy smokes.
Okay. 1 armor holy, so 1.
Yes, unless you're attacked by a holy weapon. So, Grace, you get pushed out of the way, but would you like to do something?
Yeah, I think I'm going to use magic to heal 1 harm from an injury. And I thought about it a little bit. I think what I have is like teeny tiny strips of very thin, looks almost like a paper, like really, really thin with a little rune drawn on it. And I'm going to put it on my tongue, and that's how I'm using magic for this.
Okay, nice. Like those, like Japanese prayer strips?
Yeah, that's
or
nice.
Chinese prayer
The
strips?
closest thing I was picturing was Listerine, but, you know, the little ones that you put on your tongue.
I just want my breath to smell good.
Heal thy halitosis. But, yeah, basically it dissolves in my mouth, and that's the healing mechanism that my sect uses. So, plus weird. I'm okay with that. Plus weird is a +2. So that's a 10. On a 10, the magic works without issues.
Yeah, you heal 1 harm.
On myself.
You feel the magic flowing through you, sealing up some of the blood flow that is staining your poor dress that you had worn to Lazarus Caine's dinner party.
And I guess stand up.
Chauncey, the creature, the thing that was possessing Silence, comes swooshing toward you. Silence herself throws up something black and viscous, but then she staggers to her feet.
I've decided Grace doesn't like Silence, but I, Sharon, am a huge fan of Silence, and I like her very much.
So this thing is coming at me? Alright. I wanna size this thing up. What exactly is this that I am up against here? I don't want to go into this blind and swinging like I got some fancy magical whip.
All right, so let's investigate a mystery then, if you want to identify what something is.
Okay, investigate a mystery. Here we go. Plus sharp, right? And my sharp is a +1. Here we go. That is an 8. All right. Okay, man. So I got a hold 1, right? There's 2 questions on there that I want to ask. Okay, I know.
Hold that question.
What can hurt it?
Magic.
Perfect, because that's what I have. Okay. Is there anything else I can do?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm like taking a moment, like,
Drop a witty one-liner. I think that's what you could do.
You have a magical attack, right?
Yes.
Your slashy thing. So that can actually hurt it along with use magic, either one of those. And you just know this kind of instinctively. This is a creature made of magic.
Oh.
And so you know that that's what can affect it.
That's what it's going to take. All right, no problem. Cool. I'm gonna try to hurt it bad. Actually, you know what? No, I do want to engage. I wasn't gonna enchant my sword, but we're not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna unleash my magical.
Oh, your cane sword! I forgot you had a cane.
Oh, I do. But that's for close encounters. All right, magic attack. Kick some ass. Here it goes. That is a. Oh my! That is a 14. I'm gonna fight this smart. I want to play the long game. Since my magic already ignores armor, though I don't think this thing has any armor, I personally will suffer 1 less harm.
How much harm are you doing?
I think it's only 1. I'm only pinging it.
So you do that lashing out where you make your motions in the air and then the lines of force slash out. As you did so many hours ago, it seems, when you burst open the door into that room where you saw that poor woman sucked into the bathtub. And you do that to this black shape. And you see it rip apart in a section.
Oh.
And it screams, but it makes no sound.
Uh-huh.
Yet you hear it.
Oh, I like it.
And then it rushes forward. I mean, it's like back, and then it's in front of your face. And it jams its fist into your chest and lifts you up.
Ooh.
And then slams you down against the very rocks and stone that you were upon for 2 harm.
For no harm, then?
So for 0 harm, but you are thrown down prone.
Yay! Fighting smart.
The cool thing about Monster of the Week is that 0 harm still has effects. It's just that you don't actually take any.
Nice. I like it. That's real gritty.
But yeah, you're slammed down against the rocks. Your breath is knocked out of you. It stands above you. Back to Lori and Grace. The armor with the axe steps around and again goes for Grace. Makes a mighty swing of that axe for Grace's head.
I protected, and at that point, I'm as a reaction, kicking some ass.
It's not 5th edition. You don't have reactions.
Do it.
All right. 9 plus 2, that's 11. Let's go with completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved in the fight get +1 forward.
Ooh. And your Razor Whip does 3?
3, yes.
More pieces of the armor go flying off into different sections. But it still stands.
Can I take a swing at it?
You can.
With my brand new... Well...
Although, before you do, Grace,
yeah.
its swing... does connect with you.
Ah, no.
And does 3 harm.
Okay, -1. Grace cries out, but I roll a... Kicks masses under tough, right? I roll a 7. That's alright, I guess.
You flick out with your... What did you have? You had your fighting sticks, yes? Oh, no, the mace.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a flail, but I'm using mace as the operative harm here.
Right. So you lash out with the flail. The spiked head of that swings around upon its chain, and you just smash it with all of your strength into the side of the breastplate of this thing where it connects to the back portion of it. The flail smashes into the side just behind the breastplate, and the whole thing, the whole structure just falls apart.
Yes!
And collapses into a pile.
Heck yeah!
In the rubble. And now you can finally collect the breastplate that you've been trying to get since all of this began.
First, I need to take a knee, and I am not doing well. And
Are you unstable?
No, I'm unstable. I think, isn't it above 3 you're unstable?
I'm sorry, hold on a moment, because at unstable I get to do stuff.
No! Wait, okay, so isn't it... It's above 3 that you're unstable, right? There's that little line.
You make that swing, and then you just fall backwards. The mace falls out of your limp hand. You hit the ground, and you're dizzy. You're still conscious, but everything is unclear. You are in bad shape. And we're going to leave you for a moment and go back to Chauncey.
That's it. Anger and rage. I want to unleash myself at this thing from my prone position. Just lash out at it with all my magic on it. There we go. Kick some ass. That is a 10. I'm going to inflict terrible harm.
I just spilled beer all over myself. I'm sorry. Joe, can you grab me a towel, please?
You inflicted terrible harm on Sharon, who dropped her beer.
Apparently.
I literally flung my
and who is now bright red.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could turn that shade.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah, I'm a tomato, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, man. Okay.
Chauncey.
Yes.
You lash out with all of your rage.
Yeah, that's 2 magic damage that ignores armor.
Okay. So you've done 3 total to it, I believe?
Correct.
Okay. It lifts its non-mouth bearing head to the moon and screams. You don't hear it physically, but you do hear it in your head. And it is a painful, terrible thing that does 2 harm.
Excellent.
That is armor defeating.
Woohoo! Magic-y.
It is armor defeating, but it does not defeat your immortality. It's still there above you, and now it lifts its hands, and it dives toward you, toward your eyes, toward your mouth.
You're not gonna like what you find.
It's the spirit of coronavirus. Don't let it touch your soft tissue.
It actually flows into you, or at least around your head and face, trying to make its way not into you physically, but into your eyes, into your mouth, into your soul. Ooh. So I need you, Chauncey, to act under pressure.
Ooh, exciting. I don't get to do this one enough. Let's see if I can get some experience. That is a 8.
I'm kind of glad you succeeded at this one because possession is the is the other alternative.
I mean, but then I can earn XP as I go along.
So Chauncey, it's not you that repels this from you, but something that already owns you.
Oh. The hat.
And it essentially echoes through your head and says, "This one is mine. Not for you to have, little one." And the thing is blasted backwards and takes another 3 harm.
So dope.
And in fact, that is enough to shred it into nothingness.
Oh,
that's so cool.
It should have run when they had the chance.
Lori and Grace.
Yes.
You're now standing there in the midst of just armor pieces lying about, armor and weapons.
I'm going to worry about not dying first, and I'm going to use magic to heal myself again.
So you use another one of your strips of paper inscribed with arcane symbols?
Yeah.
They're peasant magic.
And then I'm going to drag the cuirass towards myself and kind of awkwardly put it on while I'm still on my hands and knees.
Grace, are you alright?
No, dear, I'm not. I'm a little more alright than I was a moment ago. Can you... I hate to ask, but could you do that thing that you do with the healing and the...
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the strips of paper and how much they heal.
Oh, just 1.
Oh, just 1. So you're still, got 3 damage.
Yeah.
Grace, please, hold still for a moment, and I will lay on hands. That's cool.
Is this our first bad roll of the evening?
That's a 6.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Can I help out by holding still?
I don't think you can under these circumstances.
No, I don't think so. By holding still and being a good patient?
Because Lori is trying to use angelic powers, and they are beyond the kinds of things that Grace can do, and so...
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. So here's what happens. Lori, you put your hands on Grace, as you have done before in other places, other dimensions, and you try to heal her, and you do. You feel the power moving through you. Some of her wounds, they heal up more or less. They heal as if they had been healing for a week or more. So, Grace, you gain 1 harm back.
I heal by 1. Gotcha.
But, Lori, you suddenly take just a massive amount of pain into yourself. All the cuts, all the hits that Grace had just suffered all come into you. So that is, what was it, Grace? 3 harm?
Yeah, I was at 3 when Lori laid on hands.
Yeah. So 3 harm total, Lori.
Good night.
Ouch.
What does that put you at?
That puts me at 5.
Oh,
Good
5.
grief.
And Lori collapses.
Lori!
At about the same time, Chauncey and a woman that you don't recognize, Grace, come out of a room just down the hall, illuminated some by the moonlight. You see that the woman is leaning on Chauncey, and she has almost silvery hair in the moonlight. And all of this is illuminated there, as is a figure that moves out of the darkness down the hall just past Chauncey and the woman, the giant lumbering figure of Grant.
I knew it!
Lazarus Caine's servant.
The lead singer of Nickelback.
As he appears out of the darkness.
Oh, no.
And we'll see how this all goes next time on
The Gothic
Podcast.
Podcast.
The Gothic Podcast is produced by C. Patrick Nagel, with theme music by Zoe Hovland and cover artwork by Jared George Art. Listen to the Gothic Podcast on Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the Gothic Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or email us at thegothicpodcast@gmail.com. Support for the Gothic Podcast comes from you, our listeners, so please visit our Patreon page. Thanks.
I freaking knew it was the hat. I freaking knew it was the hat the entire time. I've said this from the beginning. I know you cut it out of the episode, but I knew it was the hat the entire time.
Yeah. I'll probably leave that in.
My little hat rant.
Your hat rant.
I think I actually, at some point, wrote a little song about it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, Chauncey the Monstrous was a low grade evil dude. He began to feel bad and said, "Wait a tad, I'm a mean and coarse and rude. I'm gonna be a good guy. Now how does one do that?" So I bought a suit and some fancy boots and a big black shiny hat. And that's all I've got.